You do not need to have a PhD in history or a degree in social psychology to understand that societies sometimes collectively commit to insane ideas and practice crazy things. Whether it's going to war over things we now look at and we're like, why were they doing that? Or behaving in certain ways that were just bizarre. And anti-Semitism tends to attract these mass psychoses where societies do completely crazy things, and then 5, 10, 100 years later, you look at it and you're like, what were you even thinking? Whether it's as far as the 1300s, when all of Europe thought that a pandemic that took place in Europe, the Black Plague, was caused by Jews poisoning the wells, whether it's by Spain expelling its Jews, thinking that somehow making everyone in Spain Christian is going to make things better for them, or the most obvious examples, unfortunately, tragically, in the last century, with the rise of Nazi Germany, the worshipping of the leader of Germany, and the absolutely obscene and crazy ideas that they had about the Jewish population there. It's also true with other groups. You look at what was done during the years of segregation in the United States, slavery, all kinds of absolutely obscene and immoral ideas that you look at today and you're like, what was anybody thinking? And yet, with all this knowledge and information, you look around and what's happening in the West today, and you have that much crazier ideas happening openly in the past 15 months. It became acceptable to label Jews as colonizers, as all kinds of Zionist colonizers, in ways that 2 years ago would be found to be illegal and reprehensible. And so we're seeing today people being targeted for being quote-unquote Zionist or Israeli, or people literally saying it's because someone's Jewish that they're targeting them, and all shame has been lost. Why has shame been lost? Because of the silent people. Like every time someone gets up, says something crazy, everyone else is too polite or too much of a coward to say something, and that continues to grow and becomes the narrative. So today you see on college campuses people screaming, the Zionists have no space here, or all kinds of obscenely racist, primitive, and barbaric ideas, and yet they go unchallenged. I speak to professors who look at what's going around them and they're terrified, but they will not say anything. And so you see people being targeted, you see people being harassed, you see people being targeted for our faith. You see people speaking of Israel as if it's the source of all evil, and most of those looking at this are like, yeah, this is absolutely crazy, and you see that in the polls and in the votes that people are like, this is nuts, but people do not speak out. So it's important to note how absolutely bonkers what's going on is. You don't need to look at people as psychotic as Kanye West. You just need to look at the obscenity of anti-Semitism. You need to look at the ideas that they are spreading. You need to realize how poisonously dangerous their ideas are. But most importantly, you need to call it out. When they say there are no Zionists here, when they say we don't want to make Zionists welcome here, when they say, and I'm quoting them, when they say make Zionists afraid again, recognize these are primitive KKK members that need to be outcast in our society. We cannot let vicious anti-Semites come into public, polite spaces, campuses, workplace, wherever it may be, and spread such dangerous hate. It has to be called out. It can't be called out by some. It has to be called out by everyone. And so I call on you, speak out against anti-Semitism, because it's gonna destroy society the way it has destroyed for so many centuries every society that harbored it. Speak out against anti-Semitism. Realize how absolutely out of their mind anti-Semites and anti-Zionists are, and make sure you speak out against hate. Don't let people spread conspiracy theories. Don't let people otherize and stigmatize people just for being Jewish, Israeli, Zionist, whatever it may be, and speak out against hate. Speak for tolerance, coexistence, and peace.